Welcome to Insights into Insurance with Tom Sorensen of Americana Insurance Group. All information provided is educational in nature and not intended to be acted upon without first consulting the appropriately licensed professional.
Saturday morning here on KATE, time for another episode of Insights into Insurance with Americana Insurance's Tom Sorensen. And Tom, winter has arrived.
Yeah, and it arrived really quickly, like within hours. 61 degrees and...
You were golfing, right?
Yeah, right in the middle of my swing, I froze. Which was good for the ball, because it probably would have been lost anyway. So anyway.
Tom, I'm really impressed with this piece, and I know for those maybe unfamiliar with it, we hit our 50th show last week. Really great couple of episodes.
Yeah, you and I kind of had like our 50th anniversary.
We did, and it was weird because it was a two-part. We don't usually do two-part shows.
No, we don't. But it was so much information we had to do two parts. So what did you get me? It was something for gold, right, for 50 years?
Yeah, actually, it was winter is what I brought.
Okay, winter. Okay, all right.
Anyway, Tom, how about we get right to that email?
Yes, let's do it.
All right. Hello, Insights into Insurance. I was looking over my homeowner's policy, and it states something about a protection class. I heard it was something to do with the fire department. Is this true? If so, what does it mean for insurance? Thank you, Pauline.
Again, another super great listener question. Thank you, Pauline. And Pauline, what's great that when I get these questions, a lot of times I can bring in people that know a heck of a lot more than I do sometimes, which isn't very hard. I got Mark Light, captain of the Albert Lea Fire Rescue, and Jeff Laskowske, deputy chief of the Albert Lea Rescue. Welcome, Mark and Jeff.
I'll get it right this time, hopefully.
Yeah. Well, last time Mark was my guest from the fire department, and we talked about when I was having my fire extinguisher recharging event, and some highlight to that was we actually ended up recharging 150 fire extinguishers for that event. And actually I got some stories of where some fire extinguishers, again, put out some combine fires. So we usually have those stories almost every fall. So that was good. In the meantime, since the last time I talked to anyone from the fire department, you guys had Operation Edith, right?
Yep. We sure did. It was during Fire Prevention Week, so that's been a month or so ago.
Yeah, I know it's been a while, but I just wanted to see how did that go for you guys?
Very well. We had a really good response to it. Countywide, we had a pretty good response to it the way it sounded. So really always happy to do that.
And Jeff, you guys had an open house too, right, at your place?
Yep, the Saturday of Fire Prevention Week, we always do our open house, invite the public in. We usually do a few demonstrations, have some static displays, things like that. That went really well. For as cold and as dreary as that day was, we had really good participation. We were very excited with the participation we got from the community. We thought for sure everybody would stay home because it was kind of drizzling, but everybody still came out to check.
Yeah, you guys should have had that like on December 1st when it was 60 degrees.
Yeah, it'd been better then. I think Monday was actually nicer than the day we had the open house.
You probably, yeah. Well, let's get to Pauline's question. Protection class. Pauline, I can tell you, does it have something to do with insurance? Yes. Protection class is a class rating that the insurance uses from what we call Insurance Services Organization, that they put out ratings on fire departments and it basically is a rating to how much they will charge for insurance in that. And we'll get into the factors of why. I guess what I could tell you is right now you want a lower rating for your insurance to give you a better rate than a higher rating. And that's why we're talking to Jeff and Mark here today to kind of get some information on that. So yes, when it says protection class and it has a number beside it, that does mean something. And it's kind of where insurance world and fire department world comes together and creates this protection class. So Jeff, can you kind of answer Pauline's question on the fire department side? What is protection class rating?
Yeah, so within the ISO, there's multiple pieces that go into it. We just recently went through an ISO audit, which was really cool here for the community. So we'll see how that comes out here in the next month or so to see what rating class we stay with. Not anticipating too much of a movement, but like you said, it's the lower the number, the better. The ISO uses between 1 and 10 1 is the best protection you can get, 10 meaning little to no protection, stuff like that. So it's working through that system to have the right equipment, the right personnel, the right staffing. A few pieces that the fire department doesn't have any control over is water distribution and emergency dispatch. So those are all 3 components go into creating ISO. So they use numbers associated with everything. They give you points for stuff, the different equipment you have, different staffing. They give you all those points, and in the end they add it up. And it's between 0 and 100. The 100 to 90 is class 1. 89, it's just like when you're in school and you got your A, B, C's, and D's. Same thing. They do that same thing. So if you end up with a 75, you end up in a class 3. Stuff like that. So that's how they put you in those different classifications.
Mark, what is the Albert Lea's protection class rating right now?
Right now we're at a 3.
3. And I'm going to tell you, everybody, listeners, that is awesome. For a community like ours, 3 is very hard to get. Matter of fact, is there any 1s in the state of Minnesota?
There is not. There's only 1 class 2 in the state of Minnesota, and that's St. Paul.
So in other words,
Minneapolis, Rochester, all those other big cities, communities like that, they're also a class 3.
Class 3, just as like the bigger one. And many communities are not as good as 3. I don't want to say worse than 3. I just want to say not as good as 3. How's that sound?
That sounds good.
Yeah, politically correct way of saying it. So what I want to tell you, Pauline, and the listeners is, because of what we do with our fire department and with the protection class that they're receiving is in the things that they do, that actually is a huge savings on your insurance, on your homeowner's insurance. And it's not only homeowners, is it?
It affects businesses. It basically affects everyone.
It affects businesses. So, a protection class from let's just say a 5 to a 3 on a commercial business, and Jeff, we're probably talking, could be thousands of dollars in premiums.
Yeah, it all depends on the insurance company, different things they have within there, stuff like that to actually affect that ISO rating. And like you say, it can be thousands of dollars. Homeowners, hundreds of dollars a year, to businesses in the thousands of dollars a year.
Right. The rating is really important, but I believe, Paul, it's break time, isn't it?
Yep, we'll take a break, Tom. Be back in 30 seconds with more insights into insurance right here on Kate.
Nationwide is on your side. You have a side that is retired, playing tag and getting tired. A side that owns your own store. Looks like you need to expand some more. That's why there's a Nationwide to help protect and grow your many sides. Nationwide is on your side.
Nationwide Mutual Insurance Company and Affiliates, Columbus, Ohio.
For all your many sides, there's Nationwide. Call Americana Insurance Group in Albert Lea and Wells today.
Back here on Insights into Insurance with Americana Insurance's Tom Sorensen. Tom, we are joined by 2 members of Albert Lea Fire Rescue and talking today a little bit about fire protection and ISO. Good information before the break, but more still to come.
Yeah, this protection class rating and how it affects your insurance, and obviously there's more to it than that, just insurance, but why Albert Lea Fire Rescue does the things they do is more or less saving lives and saving property too. It's just not to save insurance premiums. But let's talk about that protection class rating again. So when the individual just came in, what did you say, about a month or so ago to start doing their new rating, the audit, they call it. What do they take in? It's kind of like a team effort in the community as far as in the city departments, right?
Where do they go?
Yeah, where do they go?
Yeah, it is. It's a very big deal. Prior to them coming in, we spend about 3 months with the paperwork before they even come in. That's the nice part, is they give you the heads up. Here's what we're looking for information. It makes the day go a little faster, so they don't have to be here for 4 or 5 days. They can be here for half a day because we've got all the information ready to go. So prior to them coming in here in the end of October, beginning of November is when they actually came in. We had sat down for about 3 months, collected data, got the information. I'm looking at, so like I said, it's not just the protection class to save insurance, it's the protection class identifying what's the possibility of saving property, saving structure, and saving lives. So they look at different things. So they classify it to give you the points in different areas. For fire, a lot of things they look at is fire prevention. What does your fire prevention program consist of? What are you doing with your fire prevention program? What kind of audiences are you reaching? Are you hitting a majority of it, or is there a huge gap within your fire prevention program? They look at your staffing. Are you volunteer? Are you paid on call? Are you career? How many career? All that stuff goes into points towards the system. How long does it take you from the time the call comes in to get out the door? Things like that to cut down that time. Because if you can cut down the time, that's less loss of property, loss of life, things like that. They look at your apparatus. What do you have for apparatus? What do you have for equipment on your apparatus? Do you have the necessary equipment to effectively stop the fire, slow the fire, things like that when you arrive on scene? Because just having a fire truck just doesn't mean that you're able to just come up and stop the fire. You got to have the tools on board to also help with it. They look at station location. Where is your station located? They look at basically what they look at. They look at a 2.5 minute and 5. How far out can your engines get versus your trucks get? Where is everything staffed? So engines have to be within 2.5 minutes, and trucks have to be within 5 minutes. So then they look at that area. How much area does that cover? That's been part of what we've been looking at the new fire station. Where do we stay within that we can cover 99% of the city with where we put that station location? And then the time to the call. Then they go back and they talk with the water department. What are they doing to maintain the hydrants? That's our main water source. We obviously have the lakes we can draft from, but our main water source is the hydrants, pressurized water source, very reliable for us. So what are we doing to maintain those? So our water department goes out every year and they flush them. You've probably been seeing them out this fall. The fire department's been helping out a little bit there because they've been a little short-handed. So we're going out and we flush the hydrants, get that all out of there. Then they look at what can your water supply deliver for water. Just because you have a hydrant and you have water, but if it's a 1-inch pipe run into that hydrant, that doesn't do you very good. What's the amount of water you can supply throughout the city? Then also, how much reserve do you have? So if you end up with a large facility fire, facilities look at that as, do you have enough water to take care of a large facility fire? Because if you start running off your hydrants, you're going to suck down the city's water distribution system very quickly, and you can actually run out of water in a community pumping for a large fire.
So would the let's just say having lakes right by, does that look as a positive in that?
That helps with that, because when we're pumping for that large fire, use the Farmstead fire for example. I wasn't here for it, but I had the great opportunity to watch a lot of footage, listen to a lot of radio traffic, look at what was done, and because of the water distribution system, it supported a large number of the apparatus, but so they didn't destroy the water distribution system, additional engines were set up drafting, so they'd haul water in for those additional engines out of the lakes, out of different locations, different communities, stuff like that, to bring the water in so we didn't deplete the water distribution system for the city.
That was we estimated about 6 million gallons.
6 million gallons for the Farmstead
fire. Yeah.
Okay, so just a couple.
Just a couple, yeah.
So I guess what the whole story is that it just is just more than just a fire department.
Yeah, because I think you say it's the whole dispatch too. How many dispatchers they have, how fast can they get the information out, protocols. For the fire side too, our training. What type of training we have, how much training we have in different areas. This last year for this last ISO was kind of cool. All of our career guys hit the exact amount of number of hours beyond even in the different areas that ISO looks at, and that's unusual for that to happen, but our guys have taken training very seriously. Our fire prevention, our EMS, everything's taken very seriously, that we've been able to hit all those marks and get all that stuff done. So it goes to show the firefighters aren't just sitting around the station. We're doing things all day.
Right.
Mark can show that, till 10 o'clock at night sometimes he's up doing stuff trying to get caught up on things. So paperwork's at night and the other stuff's during the day.
The key is, yes, some of these things cost money, okay? And how do we do that? By taxes. But the thing is a lot of these things that you guys do and the things that you do to increase your protection class will actually decrease our premium insurance. But the thing is they don't see that, the insureds or the people and the citizens, and they don't actually see it. But believe you me, it's a big factor. Okay, so whenever the fire department needs something and it might cost some money, you question it, just think of what it can do on the backside too. I guess that's what I'd like to let my listeners know. How about any type of community offerings? Do you guys do any community offerings?
Well, we briefly touched on it the last time I was in here. The groups, we're trying to spread our base here, so to speak. The groups we had, and if there's anyone out there, service clubs, the senior groups, anything like that, we've got presentations put together for just about anybody. And if not,
any company, if you got your workforce, you need to get a safety training or something.
Yes.
Invite us in. We can do a work/home safety presentation, things like that too.
And all those things, as an insurance agent, if they say, "Here, we did this to our insurance and send it to the insurance company and say, "Hey, we did these things," that makes you so much more marketable.
And we've gotten actually a couple of the industries we've gone out on entire days, and it's their focus is changing from not just at work, but the things that they can take home, safety things they can take home with them.
Good, yeah.
Because they want their employees to come back to work in one piece.
And their family members to be safe.
Right.
All right. Well, thank you guys. If you guys want to contact me anything about Protection Class, the listeners, regarding their insurance, you can call me at 507-377-2000, or you can email me at insights@americanainsurance.com, or our website is americanainsurance.com. Mark, Jeff, thank you so much.
Thanks for having us.
You've been listening to Insights into Insurance from Americana Insurance Group. All information provided is intended to be educational in nature. Before acting upon any information obtained during the Insights into Insurance radio show broadcast, consult an appropriately licensed professional.